Hello YouTube, this is Frank, and this is March the 24th, 2025. This is my 93rd video, my 14th Libre Computer video, an 8 out of 8. And I am continuing with the Libre Computer Tritium NTP server with the GPS receiver. And this is number 8 out of 8 videos, and I broke this video up into 2 segments. I find that how-to confusing, and I wanted to make a video on how confusing I find that. And the second part is a step-by-step setup of how I set up my time server. I'm going to bring my board down and I'll show you what I got. Let's see now. I have no financial, employment, personal, or family relationship with any brand or product. I purchase all the products that appear in my videos with my money. I'm retired. I put it around. AI was not used in this video. There are no AI-generated images or text in my videos. Got videos in this series. This is 8A. I just find that reading those how-tos is very confusing, and I wanted to make a video to show you how confusing I find that. Now, the reason I made me a time server, Hurricane Helene came through in September of 2024, and it crashed my time server. So I had to replace a time server, and I replaced it with a Libre Computer Renegade. It was running on a Raspberry Pi Zero. So anyway, I'm retired, and I went ahead and set up some test configurations. I've got 7 test configurations. Since I'm retired, I just wanted to test a few different configurations. So now I did find some of my Raspberry Pi spares from 2019. I have not done anything with those yet, but I just found them, and I may do something with them later. This is not a pulse per second video. I just need a few millisecond accuracy. Just plug in the GPS receiver and maybe calibrate it and start serving time on a local network. The NIST, they've got a paper, and I believe it's page 38, where they have a table, requirements for stock markets time synchronization, 50 milliseconds for the United States for automated air orders. And several countries have different requirements. But I just wanted to bring that to your attention. And let me scroll this up here. There's their to within 50 milliseconds. Business synchronize their business clocks to within 50 milliseconds, and that's kind of what I am interested in. I'm not interested in very high accuracy. I don't have any applications that need that high accuracy. And I'll get back to my notes. Microsoft and their time servers, they have the 1 second, 50 millisecond, and the 1 millisecond choice. And it's in their documentation, high accuracy time web page. And there are tens of millions of Microsoft Windows Windows computers that are off by up to a second. And I've got it running here. Here it is. See this one, this computer that I'm using right now, see it's off by, I'm with about a quarter of a second. But that's fine with me though. I don't have anything that requires high accuracy. Let me get, where am I at? And also now I want you to look at the NIST for their web page, their servers. See right here, they go a web page for their NTP service. And if we look down here, see they're saying they're 50 milliseconds or better with most users. So they're saying most users are 50 milliseconds, and that's what I'm interested in. This whole series. Let me get back to my notes here. I'll show the time difference. Now, the GPS, the time service, they're saying the NTP is plus or minus 30. I'll just show you that right quickly. I believe it's in this page, this one right here. Come on down a little bit. They've got a table down here. Yeah, there it is. See that NTP time, plus or minus 30 milliseconds. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. That's kind of what the accuracy I'm after. Now, question, this is what I did all of my tests for, was can you get an NTP-like time service on an isolated LAN with a consumer GPS? Now, I purchased about a dozen of those U-Blocks GPS receivers from Amazon between October and December 2024, and the short answer is yes, you can get that NTP-like service from these consumer GPS receivers. Yeah, all of those U-Blocks consumer GPSs, the short answer is yes. So let me show you the U-Blocks. That's what I'm talking about right here, U-Blocks. Let me show you right quickly what I'm talking about. See, these are all of my configurations. Let me get over here to my screen right here. So these are all of my configurations. I got 6 test configurations, and each of them are using those U-Blocks receivers, and there's plus 1 second and then minus 1 second. And I've got all of my 6 configurations are plotted right here, and without doing any calibration at all, they're almost at the plus or minus 57. I've got the shaded right here, it's plus 50, and I've got another color down here minus 50, and I'll zoom in and I'll show you what I'm talking about right here. You zoom in right here, and I'm going to pause this for just a second. It takes a minute. All right, I'm zoomed in right here, so you can see it. There's about minus 50 and plus 50 right here, and without doing anything at all, just plugging your receivers into a single board computer. So here's my single board computer right here. There's my little GPS receiver. All I'm doing is plugging this receiver into the board, and that's all I'm doing. I haven't even calibrated it yet. And I'm going to show you this right here where I did calibrate it. Hold on just a second. I'm going to zoom in on that. This was back in, this is back in November when I first started, and that's a 3-month timeline right there. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to pause just a second. All right, so here we go. See, there's where there's you just plug up your receiver, without doing anything. If you want to calibrate it, see right there, it's well within the plus or minus 50 milliseconds right there. See, I shaded that area right there, and I shaded the plus or minus 50 right there. And so that's what I am seeing. I'm seeing all of these receivers are like that. I'm going to restore my zoom. I'm going to get back over here to my notes. Okay. Now I retired in 2022, and so I spent the last few months going through GPSD and NTP secure documentation, and I've got several videos planned to explain what I found. In the past, I only had time to get a time server working. I had a job, had to get things done. I did not have time to go through things thoroughly. I picked NTPD simply because I was vaguely familiar with it, and I did not have time to go into depth for either NTPD or Crony. That Renegade, I just had to get it going, and I just wanted my time server. But anyway, here's the Crony. This is what I'm talking about, Crony. Let me get back to my, it's a Crony. Yeah, there's Crony. I'm going to go down here to the bottom. And I've got a summary of Crony versus NTP right there. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Crony. Yeah, let's see now, where am I at? Facebook changed from NTP to Crony for their time servers. You Google for Facebook NTPD time server. I think Oracle uses Crony, and I think some of the Crony is in the default NTP in a number of Linux distributions. So try Crony. That's on my to-do list. So what I'm saying is that I don't know really enough about Crony to recommend one or the other, but it's on my to-do list to try. That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying, yeah, see, a lot of other people have looked at Crony and they find it worthwhile. So I'm going to start out with telling you how confusion I find GPSD HOWTO. Now, you don't have to watch this video if you don't want to, because will not be setting up the time server on those routers. I'm going to save that to this is video 8A right here, and so video 8B, that's the one we'll just go step by step setting up a time server on a router. Let me see. Yeah, I showed you that board. Let me just show you what I'm talking about with these routers. These are just consumer routers. That's that cootie right there, and I've got a Netgear router, and we'll be setting up on a time server on the Netgear router. But that'll be in video 8B, and so if you don't want to watch me complain for an hour on the documentation right there, you don't have to watch this video. That's what I'm saying. Now I find those how-tos and documentation, they are difficult for me to read. Now I'm going to tell you, I'm just a dum-dum. I'm old and retired. I'm easily confused. So that might be part of the problem. Well, now let's just look at the first thing. when I started reading the documentation, let's see, this is what I'm talking about right here, the service, Time Service HOWTO. And we go down here, and let me just show you what we're talking about, the time. Now this is what I'm talking about right here. In the leap second section right here, now after much reading, I believe those U-Blocks GPS receivers handle the leap second in UTC time mode. And I've got to, let me just pause it right here. All right, I'm back. Let's see now. Now those GPS receivers, those U-Blocks receivers, now they have two modes, the UTC time mode and the GPS time mode. And the UTC time mode, that's the default. So when you plug in your receiver, that's what it starts out in. And I have not gone any further than just the default mode. Now I do want to bring this out to your attention. Now if you want to see some rocket science equations, I'm going to show you the publications, some of the publications right here. Now I just kind of skimmed through some of these. Oops, went a bit too far right here. And I believe that was what, page 108. Let's go to page 108. And this is in that NASA Space Goddard Flight Center stuff, rocket science. They're talking about the time systems. I just kind of skimmed through this. The equations aren't too bad right here, but then they start to get more. I mean, there's your rocket science equations right here. And let me just, so I just kind of skimmed through this, and I thought, well, now here's some more rocket science. There's relativity and all that right there. So anyway, let me get back to that's that publication. There's one of the rocket science publications. There's another one here that's not quite as hard. Let's see, page 15 and page 27. And this one is just an introduction. And this is kind of what he's talking about over here on this, let me see here now. See right here about 12.5 minute thing right there. That's kind of what this thing is. Let me get back over here. That 12.5 minute message there. It's got some kind of sequence. They have time tags and other GPS stuff. There's a rocket science equation right there. Let's go down to page 27. Let's see here now. I thought that was kind of interesting. He does have a diagram on the multipath signals from the science thing there. But this is what I'm saying right here. I saw this. Oops. I saw this. This bullet point right here. That's just saying that it's a challenge for receiver designers and users. I'm just going to leave it with that. I'm just not interested in going any further with that. I'm just going to assume that all this is taken care of with those receivers. Let's see right here. I think that leap second thing mostly applies at startup and in June and December. but it's not something I'm concerned about. So I skimmed all that stuff over, and it's just not worth my time to go into depth on that. But I wanted to bring that to your attention. I mean, to me, when I started reading this, that's just like, man, what are they talking about right here? And it turns out I'm just not interested. I mean, I'm not sure that it applies to the average person like me, the average dum-dum. So anyway, time service. Let's go down here to the 1 pulse per second. 1 pulse per second. I want to bring this to your attention too. He's saying this right here. Now, I've been running my tests for 3 months, and I just find this just confusing right here. Because see right here, then he's saying it may jump to 200 milliseconds. Then he's got another receiver right here that he's talking about. It goes 170 milliseconds. See, I'm just not seeing that. I ran it for, I'm going to have to zoom this in right here. Let me pause my video while it zooms in. All right, let me show you, see what I'm talking about right here. I started my, in November, around the middle of November, and see, this is March. Now, this is me kind of playing around with that receiver right there, and I had the receiver in the middle of the floor. It wasn't even by a window, and so right here, I just wanted to test, some configurations out there, but I am not seeing those jumps like what he was seeing. Now, see this right here? This is me turning those these little computers right here, these single board computers. That's me playing around, doing either turning them off or trying a different configuration. But other than me playing around with it, I don't see it jumping around. Well, I had it in the middle of a floor right here. So you kind of not expect to have great reception if you put it in the middle of a room on the floor. But other than that, I don't see what he's talking about. See right here? It's been running for 3 months and I don't see this. So anyway, that's what I'm saying. I've got 2.7 million observations in that graph that I'm showing right here. So let's look at his, he does have another publication, he does have another web page right here, Introduction to Time Service. So let me show you this right here. That's the Introduction to Time Service. There's his, see, 100 millisecond stuff right here. I'm not seeing that. So let's look at his summary. See, there's his 30 millisecond for NTP time, and then here's his greater than 100 milliseconds. I'm just not seeing that. And so, I was kind of questioning where he got that from. And so what I did, go down a little bit further and look at his, look at the version history. If you go down a little bit further, look at his version history. See, 2015. Now think back to 2015. What kind of computers and GPS receivers did we have back then? 10 years ago. That was 10 years ago. You got to think about their SD cards. So I was thinking about, is he talking about 10 years ago? Think about, that was written in 2015, so those receivers may be older than that. And then a 2015 and a Raspberry Pi probably had a single core 700 megahertz ARM11 processor in there. And think about the SD cards. Now those would be slower too. Now let me tell you what I'm seeing now. See, I purchased over a dozen of those GPS receivers from the Amazon. They're all based on U-Blox chips, and they're all running on Libre computers with ARM Cortex A53 processors. Let me show you. I'm going to show you that web page right here. Let me show you what I'm talking about right here. See, Cortex A53 right here. All of these single board computers right here from Libre, they're Cortex A53 or faster, and they've got that's a 4-core chip right there. That's what I'm saying. So the other thing, I'm using an SD card. Let me show you that SD card, because that can make a difference too. See, I'm using those Class 10 U3 V30 cards. Let's see, now all of my receivers, they're consumer version of the 720 or 830 chips. My internet connection is fiber, 1 gigabit down, 100 megabit up, and all of my test configurations are showing network time, NTP time accuracy. And then whenever if I set that fudge, oops, where's my right here? Yes, if I set that fudge, I mean I'm well within that plus or minus 30. Let's see now. Yes, I'm kind of confused. I want to make another video that goes into depth, and I want to show you what I'm talking about. So yeah, the short answer is yes. You can get NTP-like service. I was using my new fiber connection. Okay, now number 3, Crony. NTP or Crony, the Time Service Demon. Let me see here. Where's it? Here's right here. He's got a Time Service Demon right here. He's talking about Crony. I want to try Crony my own self. I'm not sure, I want to test it for my own self, but, after reading this how-to, it might be that Crony is a better option than NTP Secure right here, and that's what I'm using in this video. In case you're in question, I'm using NTP Secure. So let me get to my hardware. Yeah, I think Oracle, Facebook use Oracle, use Crony. So I mean, there's like some major corporations right here that are using Crony. See what I'm saying? It's on my to-do list. Let's see. Let's get down here to more of my complaints right here. NTP Viz. NTP performance and details. Let me show you this right here. There, just scroll on down. Let's see here. Scroll on down. Let's see. Feeding Crony. Yep, did I go past it? Here it is. Performance tuning right here. Let's see now. Have to come on down. Here we go. NTP tuning and performance details right here. See that? Get this right here. The easiest way to visualize is with NTP Viz. NTP Viz. That's what I'm talking about right here. And it's in the how-to right here. Now, from my understanding, NTP Secure is supposed to be a secure implementation, where secure is part of the name. Now, I installed NTP Viz on one of those test computers, and I was horrified to see that it installed 82 additional packages. It installed the Apache web server. So let me just show you what I'm talking about right here. See, and what I'm doing right here, I'm just going to simulate that install, because I am not going to install NTP Viz on anything else. That's what I'm saying. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm just going to simulate that install. Simulate, install, NTP Secure, NTP Viz. Now, see, look at this right here. Now, I'm just simulating that install, but look. So look at all these packages that it's doing, installing right here. All these libraries. There's Image Magic. Of course, we need GNU plot. Image Magic. See right here, look. He's installing the Apache web server. See, look right here. See, 82 new packages installed. Man, it's like my head was about to explode when I saw that. And let me show you this right here. Let me show you. It seems to me that makes it less secure. So if you kind of read right here, see, this is even in their documentation. See, look, the more code we can throw away, the fewer potential vulnerabilities and issues we have. I only wanted to install one package, but then whenever I go to do that, look, it's installing 82 new packages. Now, how is that making something secure? Man, my head was about to explode when I saw that, when I installed it on my computer. All right, now I'm kind of get, okay, so I showed you that. The other thing, let me show you this too. They said to install that. Now I did, and now this is what it does right here. It creates these graphs. And let's just go down to the bottom. Now there's a summary table right here. Now I'm going to show you. See what I'm talking about right here. Now I showed in that 5 of 8 video that I made that their statistics, some of those statistics are not calculated correctly. I went back and checked the numbers my own self. So you see this right here, skewness and kurtosis, that whole column is incorrect. All through that, see, all through this thing, skewness, if you look back and calculate it your own self, that are not correct. And so let me get back over here. See, and I notified I notified those people that they were not correctly calculated, and they went ahead and changed it. But and then they've got an Apache web server. That's just well. And the other thing, now that I've got this here, and I was looking at some other things in their graphs, I noticed some other issues, and so I need to make another video that shows you how to correctly graph some of this. I'm not going to do that now, but I'll do it later. Okay, now let's the awk script. Now I'm gonna pause my video. I gotta drink some water. All right, I'm back. Let's see now. Yeah, this is the awk script. Now, awk is one of my favorite little it is my favorite little language. So let's go over here. Let me show you what we're talking about here. Let me see here if I can get back over there. This is that how to. You just go down, scroll down a little bit further. Peer stats based procedure. That's what we're doing right here. All right, now look at this right here. The first thing that's wrong. I'm going to show you my notes right there. Did you see that right there? NTP stats. Now look at that. See, NTP secure is supposed to be a more secure fork of NTP. So they've got the wrong directory right here. And if you scroll down just a little bit further, watch this right here. Make sure the directory exists. And look at this right here. They've got the wrong owner right here. That's not, see right here, that's not the owner. That's not the default user. It's NTP secure. So let me show you I've got it in my notes right here. Yes, let me show you. See, it's in App Armor. Let me show you what I'm talking about right here. If you do the ls etc, all this right here, and it's in the let me scroll up just a hair. It's in the App Armor subdirectory right there. ls etc app armor d, and this file right here, that's where it's at right there. And so we're going to just cat that file, or what's that, user NTPD. See right here, secure, NTP secure. See, they've already, this is that App Armor file right here. So they've already got it set up. So they've already got it set up for NTPD. And these are see, these are those directories and the files that they've already got set up. And that's for secure purposes right there. So see that? You know, it's secure is in the name of the fork project. And so see, they're making, see right here, they want you to create more directories with these owners right here that are not part of the secure fork. So let me go on to the next one here. And this is that alt. If we go on down there a little bit further, here's that alt program. The alt is my favorite little language right now. I mean, so I'm not complaining about alt. All right, let's see. Let me see right here now. Now this is an alt program. See, there's 4 lines in that program. Now, how many issues do you think they could possibly have in a 4-line program? Well, if you can find 4 issues, you would be correct. There's about 1 issue per line in that little program right there. Now, first of all, see right here, calculate this script right here. Well, first of all, I would not do that. I would not calculate the mean of some data set and then use that mean without looking at the data and descriptive stats and a graph. And this is second week of community college right here is what I'm saying. You learn that in the second week of community college statistics. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And I've got a typical book right here. Let me see here. Introduction to, and this is an open courseware book, and I want to show you what I'm talking about. This is I'm using that textbook as a reference, so I need to highlight. This is where it says to use the reference here. So there's the reference. And let me get to that page, 77 and 23. Page 77. So right here, in the second week of community college statistics, introductory statistics, they're talking about graphs. You learn the graphs, then you learn quartiles, percentiles, mean, mode, variance, standard deviation, and a range. So see what I'm saying? I would not just use some script to calculate a mean and without looking at the data. Look at page 123. Let's go to page 123. 123. See, they've got it. See, look in bold right here. Look. They've got it in bold. Look. Always graph your data. See, and that's the first 2 weeks of community college statistics. Okay, so that's the one thing that I found. I mean, that's wrong. Just don't. There can be outliers, and I'll show you this right here. And this is my graph that I zoomed in on. Now I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to pause the video while it zooms out. All right, see what I'm talking about right here now? This is the complete data set that I've got for all of these configurations that I ran for 3 months. And there are huge outliers right here, see? And I just would not calculate the mean of from some data set without looking at the descriptive statistics and the graph. You need to see if there's any outliers. Let me show you that. See, they've got see, the NIST, Engineering and Statistics Handbook. See, you can have outliers in the data, and we kind of go down here to the bottom. See, outliers, they can be bad data points. It's like when I turn these configurations on, these computers on, they're not going to have the correct time, and that's not the fault of the GPS receiver. And so that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There could be bad data points. But let me get back to my notes here. All right, now let's get to the to that ALT program. Let me get over here to the ALT program. Let's see, where is it? All right, so we're finally getting here to the ALT program. See, there's 4 lines. I've already found a major issue there. I just would not use calculate a mean without looking at the data. All right, so let's give it a try. So where's that data? Where's that program at? So it's at, he says it's at. Let me see what. It's in the contrib offset in the GPS distribution. So let's go to the distribution. Let me see, I've got a page right here that has it. See this right here? Here's the thing, and it's in the GPSD. Let's see now. NTP offset. Was that it? No, I'm in the. Let me back up a page just a little bit right here, because it said it's in the. See right there, contrib. That's where you got to go to. Mesh on that, and then there's the offset right here. And let's just kind of right click on that, and let's copy that link. Copy the link. All right. Now what I'm going to do, let me clear this screen right here. All right, see, I've got nothing in this directory, but I want to get that script file. Wait just a second. Oops. NTP offset. Look, 4 years ago, the last time they edited that thing. Let me get back over here to my. I'm going to use wget, so you just paste that link that I just got right here. Now, kind of watch what I'm doing right here. Now, the correct command is this right here, but I want to show you. I just want to show you what I'm doing in case you want to try this yourself. If you just mash return. Now it did get something, but let me show you what it is though. If you chat that, that's it kind of looks like a PHP stuff, HTML stuff. So that's not really what we want. So let's remove that. Okay, so I've removed everything. Now let me show you what we got. Okay, there's my thing right here. Now let's see now. Let me back up right here. I'm using my backspace and I'm erasing that to right there to the offset. Now if I try this again, it's kind of going to be the same thing right here. Without, oops, let me cat that. There's that same HTML stuff right there, that HTTP, HTML, all that stuff right there. Let me clear this right here. Well, let me remove that one. All right, let me back up right here. So if you want to get that thing, you got to change that blob right there. See that blob? You change that to a raw. Oops, raw. See that right there? And that's what I'm talking about in my notes right here. It's just, you kind of play with that HTTP, that address right there a little bit, and you'll see that it's raw, and then that file name right here. And let me get over here and mash return. All right, now see this one. This is that. There's that script that we're talking about right here. Alright, so we got our script, and let's see if we can get back over there to the how-to. Okay. Now, how many things wrong do you think we can find on this thing? Okay, let's just run it. Let me clear it. All right, just run it. Oops, let me show you this one more thing. I got to make it executable. I forgot about that. Let me make it executable. Let's change your mod 7. NTP, y'all see it? Oops. Yeah, now I made it executable, and let's just run that thing. Okay, so there's an error. First thing, and the first thing I noticed, see that's got the wrong directory right there. So that's one thing. The default directory, they got the wrong directory in there. So let's fix that. And I'm going to use my text editor, my own text editor. And I'm going to change the palette. All right, let me get over here. NTP secure. And save that. See, let me show you that right there. The VAR, it's the log directory. And see right there, that's the default directory they got, NTP secure. And that's what that's the file that we're looking at right there. So let's just, okay, we got our directory corrected. Now we get a division by 0. So let's clear this. Look. Oops. Division by 0. Now what? Look at this right here. The default pattern that he's searching for is that old driver. See right there, that driver. He's searching for that driver name right there. Now let's look at his. Let's look at the reference here. I think I've got a newer reference right here. Here's the reference. Clock support. So if you scroll down, see right there. It's SHM. That's the new driver name, and I would have guessed that's what they would search it for, but I don't think anybody's run it now in at least 4 years. So let me show you. There's that directory. Let's just cat the peer stats. See, there's that SHM, the shared memory thing. That's what we're looking for. So let's edit the file again. I'm going to change my palette. SHM. And save that. All right, clear. Let's run it. All right, now we did get a number. Now, I'm emphasizing a number. Now, the result, see that number? It's off by 3 orders of magnitude. This is crazy. This is crazy. he multiplied, let me get back over here. Look, he's multiplying the offset by 1,000. So he's off by an order of magnitude. I mean, 3 orders of magnitude. He's off by 1,000. So, you know, if somebody were to put that number, let's just say that's a number, minus 67, that's way off. So, and the result, it does have a minus sign in it too. So, you know, people might get confused and put that minus 67 in their offset. Let me see, where's that offset at? I think it's right down here. Get down a little bit further. Yeah, see that time 1 there? If you put a minus 67 in there, that's going to put you time way off. So anyway, let's get back to our hawk. He does say subtract the offset, so that would actually, subtracting a minus, that would make it a positive. I got to have a drink of water. All right, so we're back. I'm back, and I got my water. All right, so there's that. Now, after all that confusing stuff that I was going through, now I would recommend the spreadsheet. I did make a video with more in depth of my observations right now. I mean, for right now, you can get by with the spreadsheet. There's some other things you can do to get a better offset. But let me just say, a spreadsheet. So you can mash one button. You mash one button and you get all your descriptive statistics. There's a graph. There's the observed, and then here's, if we want to make an offset, I've got a column right there to put your offset in. Now that's what I would recommend, is a spreadsheet. The other thing was, like, let me just kind of scroll on down right here. Now, you know, see how confusing this is, this whole thing. And what I'm talking about right here is, you know, in my experience, you know, when I was searching the internet for how to do this, I would actually see people put in that 420 or 0.42 or 0.5 in there, because they didn't know what to put in there. You know, you try to follow this how-to, and it's just, well, you can see how confusing it is. And I would see this right here on some of the in some of the forums on how to set up your time server, because they don't. I mean, they would just see this thing right here, because that's what he did on his thing in 2015, and that would still make your offset way too high. So anyway, let me get back to my notes here. I would just leave the fudge out. If you don't want to calculate the fudge, just leave it out. And so let me just show you what I'm talking about right here. It's the LS ETC, LS ETC, NTP, secure, NTP, is that right? It's that config file right there, and let's just cat it. Yeah, see right here what I'm saying is I would just leave that fudge line out of there if you don't want to calculate it, because that's all it's really doing. It's putting that offset in there. And now your time would, it would be it would be off. Let me restore my Zoom. I'm gonna pause the video. Oh yeah, see what I got? I'm zoomed in right now. See what I'm saying is, if you don't want to fool with all that fudge stuff right there, so just the default is already very close to that plus or minus 50. If you just want to plug your receiver in, just do that. That's what I did on my Raspberry Pi and on my last Libre Renegade that I've got working. That was good enough for me. Okay, so let me get back to my rant right here. Yeah, just you can leave it out. Or all right, yeah, I did not really. It's got another thing right here. This is this. That's GNU plot. I didn't even go through this. I didn't check out his work, but now I want to tell you, I have used GNU plot for 20 years at work. Now, how many people use GNU plot? To me, I think it's a high learning curve just to make one GNU plot, and I've used GNU plot for 20 years in the past, and I didn't want to do that. So I would recommend a spreadsheet. Most people, I would think more people know how to use a spreadsheet. It calculates your statistics correctly. You've got a graph, and then there's the correct offset right there. Let me get back to my rant. Now in March of 2025, this is what I did. I searched for how many people use use Excel, Google Sheet, or LibreOffice, and this is what I found. About 2 billion people use spreadsheets. Why would you do this? Go through all this for the few thousand people who use GNU plot? I've used GNU plot at work, and I'm not doing this. Anyway, there's that's my rant right there. There's even more. If you look at the NTP Secure web pages, and I wanted to set up my drivers, let me show you that right there. And I've got to, let me pause this right here. All right, so here's our reference clock support. Now I wanted to, so if I was wanting to look at the drivers, so I can, see how to set my time server up. All right, so if I click on the, here's my, I want to look at my shared memory time server. All right, this is a typical Unix man page. Now look at this right here. You get dozens of options. All right, see all these dozens. Then it says for additional information. Now, if I wanted additional information and click that right there, where do you think I'd go back? Do you think I'd go get some more information? No, you don't. It's a circular link where you go back to that page you were just at, and it's the driver page. See right here. This is what I'm talking about. It's the link. There's circular links to more drivers. They don't tell you how to use these drivers. There's no examples, so you didn't have to. So then you get this how-to right here. It's confusing. Look on the internet, surf the internet, the forums, for people that actually tell you how to do it, and they're kind of going by trying to create this how-to that's supposed to written by the people that wrote GPSD. the whole thing is just confusion to me. So anyway, this is my rant right here. Now, to be fair though, I am old and I am easily confused. So take that into consideration too. So anyway, that's my video. Thanks for watching, and we'll set up the time server step by step on the next video. Thank you.